begin by introducing myself. My name is Father Paul Martin, and I'm a Jesuit priest. I first arrived in Guyana in 1989 as a scholastic, that's a student priest. Spent 2 years here, and then studied my theology in Brazil. I was ordained a deacon at St. Ignatius Mission in Bethlehem, and ordained a priest back in England, and have been working in Guyana as a priest since 1996. So I'm very happy to be here. At the moment I'm the regional superior for the Jesuits here in Guyana.
Yes. What do you understand about the year dedicated to consecrated life?
So, I think the world has really been inspired by Pope Francis in the short time that he has been Pope and leader for the Church. Introduced a lot of a new energy, new life into the Church, and last year we had Gaudium, this letter from the Pope to the whole Church, calling for a renewal of evangelization, and particularly putting a stress on the joy of evangelization, that as followers of Jesus Christ we should be filled with a joy and an energy that we wish to bring to the world. And just in November, Pope Francis has invited all religious priests and sisters for again to be renewed in their mission and their contribution to the life of the Church. So a special year has been put aside for consecrated life, for those who belong to religious orders to reflect on their particular contribution to the work of evangelization. So this year began on the first Sunday of Advent in November. It's going to go right through until the 2nd of February in 2016. 2nd of February is the Feast of the Presentation, and that's a day in which religious see their sense of being, really, that they are giving their lives, dedicating their lives to God and to the service of His people. So it's a time for us to be thinking about what that dedication means and how we're called to live that dedication more faithfully. So each religious congregation has its own particular charism, and I think Pope Francis is wanting each congregation to be reflecting on what's the particular contribution that our congregation or our religious order makes to the life of the Church. So we have Benedictine monks who live a life of prayer in their monastery. We have Carmelite friars, we have Franciscan friars who go out to proclaim the gospel, Dominican friars. But I belong to a group called the Jesuits, and we are different from Benedictine monks, we're different from Franciscan friars. We are what we call apostolic religious. And our mission is to find God in the world, so that the Benedictine, the spirituality of the Benedictine in one sense is to withdraw from the world to a life of contemplation and prayer, and to be that witness that there is more to life than we see going on around us. There is a deeper reality. As a Jesuit, our mission is to go out into the world and to discover the presence of God in the world, and to help men and women living in the confusion and busyness of life to encounter God in their life. So that's the heart of what it is to live our Jesuit religious life. And this year is an invitation for us to see, well, how faithful are we being to that mission? Are we indeed helping men and women here in Guyana to encounter God in their lives? Guyana is an interesting country, and the church in Guyana it's an interesting reality, really. One of the facts about the life of the church in Guyana is that the majority of the priests working here are in fact Jesuits. We have very few diocesan priests, and we have very few priests of other congregations. And that's in one way a challenge for us as Jesuits, that we want to be faithful to our charism. We want to do things that are distinctive to our Jesuit way of life, and yet at the same time recognise the important mission that is entrusted to us is to build up a local church. So while we are engaged in pastoral work and parish ministries, we are trying to explore ways in which we can be involved in other ministries. Good example of that is Father Eddie Birmingham. Father Eddie Birmingham is the Bishop's delegate for evangelization, faith formation and catechetics. And so not a parish priest, not looking after a parish community, but trying in various ways to educate the Catholic community, help in the education of children, and help in adult education projects to build up a laity that is educated and knowledgeable about the faith, and then out of that knowledge coming a commitment to proclaim the gospel and to go out and to live the faith. So that's the work that Eddie Birmingham is doing as the Bishop's delegate. We have our mission in the interior, proclaiming the gospel among the Amerindian communities of the interior, reflecting on how we might move into educational apostolate, how we could contribute more to the life of young people, to prepare them for the challenges of adult responsibility through helping in the difficult task of education. That's another work that we are looking at and reflecting on. In Georgetown, we're trying to contribute to the development of this pastoral area. How can we contribute to the empowerment of lay leadership? So, involved in various ministries throughout Guyana.
If a young person is interested in priesthood or religious life, how can the religious community help them to recognize the vocation? Okay,
so very good question, and that's a question that Pope Francis actually looks at in Evangelium Gaudium, but also in this apostolic letter about consecrated life. And the most important thing is a quotation from Pope Benedict, which says that the gospel comes through attraction and not through imposition. And the temptation, I think, we always slip into that feeling that we need to convince people, and yet if we are authentic to our charism, if we are authentic to our way of life, then we will naturally attract others to see that we have something worth having and something that they would like to share. So the invitation for this year of consecrated life is for all religious to be renewed in their living of their own religious life, and if they're living it authentically and living it and are clearly seen to be men and women who are fulfilled and happy in the life that they have, then that will be something that will attract other young people. They will see something of inspiration in the lives of them that will attract them. So I think